Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Daily Racing Forum YouTube. I'm Gino Buccola alongside Mike Beer, producer Bobby pulling the strings behind the scenes. We're going to talk about one of the race of the days for Wednesday this week. And remember, you can get free past performances at drf.com for every race of the day, Monday through Sunday. We also have the Road to the Derby promotion continuing on, kicked off last weekend, past performances for all the events leading you into and then including the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks. A lot of things will be taking shape over these next few weekends. And Mike, it's a big weekend at Gulfstream Park as we head on out to Gulfstream and take a look at this field for the Wednesday race of the day. What's nice about nowadays in racing, they've already got the Gulfstream Park Florida Derby Day past performances out, so we can already dive in and take a look there. This field, smaller field, looks like Morgan Point and Freedom Road are going to take a ton of money in here. Freedom Road has been facing softer company, but they've been spotting this horse really, really well. Loves to win races, always in like just good spots. Morgan Point kind of went the other way, tried a little bit tougher, and then tried synthetic last time out. You probably got to make a couple excuses, but both of those two feel like the top two.
Yeah, they're easy to make cases for. And here, it's a 6-horse field. I felt like 3 of them were really strong contenders. The other 3, you're going to have to do, a little bit more digging to get to those horses. There's also, Gino, I don't know if you agree with this or not a ton of pace in this race.
No. Yeah, and that's why I think as we move to the pace projector, maybe if you're trying to get some value into the race, you can sneak a horse like Grand Tower into the try, right? Something like that. I don't know how good this horse is, just winning 62.50 claiming race and then stepping up here. But if this is a horse that could maybe get a little bit brave in here, does have a few other pressers, but not necessarily a bunch of horses who want the lead or need the lead.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how it plays out with the horse that you just mentioned, who I guess if they're going to run him here on dirt again, then maybe they'll just get aggressive with them. I think the good news for the 3 short prices, the 1, the 3, and the 6 is none of them are slow early. I mean, it just feels like they're going to be right up close.
Yeah. So let's meet the field here for Wednesday's race of the day. We start with the number 1 Morgan Point in here. So this is a horse who faced pretty tough company a couple starts back, was in really nice form, beat a first level allowance group, then stepped up into the second level allowance, ran into a horse named Alexander Helios, who has won 3 of 4, won the Razorback following start with a 102 Beyer speed figure. So that race would stack up really, really tough against a group like this. And then when you're comparing just to some of the other common rivals in here, you look at a horse like Lightning Tones, who Morgan Point defeated. Then you look to the outside and you see that Lightning Tones easily handled Awesome Train. So you play that common rival game. This horse just feels like a major player in here. Won't be a fun horse to bet. The rail could sometimes be tricky, but I think obvious contender.
It's just an easy horse to make a case for. I think you sort of hit the nail on the head in the open anyway. I mean, this is a horse who he's been in really good form, especially when you look at races at around this level. And then he just got in way too tough when they stepped him up in Class 2 starts back. And they tried that synthetic race last time, and he clearly didn't like it. He's back on dirt. He's back in a better spot here. Probably a good trip coming from the rail. Again, he's just very logical.
The number 2 Grand Tower looks like one of the major pace factors in here, but he's taken a pretty sizable step up in class. He was just facing 62.50 claimers last time out. He was defeated in that race when he finished second, beaten a neck. Did lose to a horse named Bringer of Rain, who has won 3 in a row. And before that, we're talking about winning 8,000 non-winners to 2 and 12.5 non-winners to 3 later in the year on the synthetic at Gulfstream. Like, those aren't the strongest races in the world, so I don't know how good he is, but he catches a pretty good field to at least try to, get a good run for his money against not a lot of other early speed types.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the good news for him is you could just say they put him on dirt for the first time last time, and he handled it fine. He ran about as well on dirt as he had been running on synthetic and even on turf earlier in his career. So I don't know. I guess if you want to look at him that way, that's fine. But he's just been running against way cheaper horses, including that most recent race on dirt. He ran fine in there, Gino. I don't know about you. I thought he had no excuse not to win, and the race didn't come back particularly fast.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's no knocks on him overall. This is just a lot tougher. Freedom Road is in really good form. He's proven at Gulfstream. He's going to make the 3rd start of his form cycle. He loves to win races. They've just put him in nice spots throughout his career. I will say a knock on him maybe because he's going to be a shorter price. His last few races, he hasn't been as quick out of the gate, Mike. And, in a smaller field like this against a horse or two that has tactical speed, if he gets behind and he has to do a little bit of work, that could be the difference between winning and losing. So always looking for little holes to poke, especially in the shorter prices. But he certainly is a really nice horse who, they've done a great job with so far. 12 for 28 overall.
Real good point that you bring up, though. When these horses when they feel like they're starting to decline, it's because you'll notice it first when they don't get out of the gate that well.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so maybe that could be an issue for this horse. This is his most recent start. We're showing you the stretch run here. He's very game to get the job done here, Gino. But this is one of those races where you want to go back and watch the start of the race. He didn't get out that alertly, and then he took a really good bump from the horse to his inside, and he wound up last early in this race. Still overcame it and wins it pretty easily at the end. Ultimately, we're talking about a horse now. He's third off the layoff. He's a neck away from having 9 in a row on dirt. And, he was just running races last spring and summer that would just bury this field. So listen, to me, he's just a horse to beat here. You bring up a good point, though, about, the gate issues recently.
Bold Advance is coming in with most of his form on synthetic. He has a few races on the dirt. He has to prove it more on the dirt. But even his synthetic form just feels kind of a cut below, at least like the 1, the 3, probably the horse to the outside as well, and who they've been facing.
Yeah, that's the real issue. I mean, he seems like he's better on the all-weather surface than he is on dirt, even though his dirt races are a long time ago. He's got to be better on dirt if he's going to beat this field.
Yep, Philharmonic, one who just hasn't been in the best of form as of late. Mike, you see when they kind of go to the synthetic and then back to the dirt, sometimes you can see that maybe trainers or owners are like looking for something to try to wake the horse up. They did that. They tried a synthetic race, just didn't really fire. Back to the dirt last time, didn't really fire. Can you make a case for this one?
I don't love his running style, really, Gino. It just feels like there's not going to be a lot of pace in front of him in this race, and he feels like he might need a little bit of help. I don't know. I struggled. He's the kind of horse I actually wanted to make a case for here because he's going to be a good price, and I don't think he's totally overmatched. I just wonder if he gets the right trip in this spot.
Yeah, agree with you. From a class standpoint, I don't think he's that far behind this group if he were to show up with one of his A races, but he hasn't really shown us that kind of form recently. No. You should at least get rewarded for the price if you like him and if you're going to stick with him in this spot. We round out the field with Awesome Train, who has been facing much tougher in the last couple, but he was well defeated by Mindframe last time out. 2 starts back by Lightning Tones. I mean, he was 94-1 last time out. You can just put a line right through that race. It's nothing relevant to this one, but you just don't really love playing horses at shortish prices after they come off of really disappointing races like that. And he's probably going to be pretty short in here.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand, I guess, why they tried to move him up in class recently. I mean, this horse was in really good form. He had 2 wins in a row with the 2 top figures of his career in November and December. So they tried the Sunshine Classic. That's a 2-turn race. I don't care about that one that much. He was in way over his head last time. You're not supposed to hold that against him. He gets his Lasix back in here. He obviously fits better with these horses. He might be the 3rd choice in this race out of 6. So I don't know. All of that stuff to me conspires to make me want to take a really long look at this horse. I think he can win.
Yeah, he absolutely could. And I agree with you as we move to selections in here. I thought there were 3 horses only who could win this race. I just couldn't really get all that creative with them. They're the 1, 3, and the 6. I put the 2 in the middle of them. Maybe, like we said, if the 2 could hang around for a slice and maybe spice up some of the exotics. But I'll lean 1 Morgan Point, Mike, and you're going to go to the 3.
Yeah, I tried to talk myself into the 5 at a price in here. I couldn't quite get there, Gino. And then ultimately, it's just like, the other 3 horses are the logical ones we hit on. I'm not betting this race, so I'm not going to try to, build a case for a bigger price in here. I just put the favorite on top.
I agree with you. We couldn't really get all that creative in this one. Maybe you could out there. Best of luck to you. And remember, free past performances for the Wednesday race of the day. Good luck.